YouTube? It's your boy Skinny Moose.
Your boy, the Deathmatch Juggalo, Brian White.
So I got a part two with him. My first question is, how did you feel fighting your own student, Ace Harris?
You know, whenever we made that happen, I'd been watching Ace over the years evolve. From the time he was that little scared referee in SCW Entertainment, he was scared to death. I watched him evolve and took his ass whooping, flashing, and he evolved and he trained and he learned his craft and better. And I'm heavyweight champion in numerous promotions. How do I feel about it? It's an honor for him to ask me for that match. That made me feel good. It let me know that he respected me enough to ask me, hey, you know, I'd be honored if you give me one match against you at least. And when we got there, he didn't know I was going to plan the skewer spot. He didn't know that. But when we got there, we were talking and everything. And I was like, you want to incorporate a little hardcore in this? He's like, well, how's that? You know, because he was telling me he wants to do a death match and stuff. Well, I was like, well, I said, I got some skewers in the car. I said, he says, I'll do whatever you want to do, man. It's whatever you want to do. Because he was so respectful. He come up to me, shook my hand, and says, what do you want to do in this match? And I said, and I want to get you over. So we worked with that idea right there. That was just the game plan. We're gonna get each other over. But I said, you want to incorporate a little death match? He's like, what do you want? What you got in mind? I said, I got some skewers in the Jeep. I said, I'll go get them right now. I said, it's like this. I said, I've taken them. I said, it's quick. I said, the hardest part about it is thinking about what it's gonna feel like, because it's going to split second, just a split second. It is 2 good taps and they'll go in. I promise you. He's like, okay, well, let's do it. So during the match, we didn't tell his wife that I was going to do it. We didn't tell her that. And I got the referee to take the skewers out there and put them under the ring. And he told me where they were and everything. So during the match, when the time came, I pulled them out and I walked around the ring. Going to the gimmick and everything. Well, I seen his wife and I showed her, and she's like, "Don't you do it! Don't you do it!" In there, and I put him to the bench. She said, "Don't you do it!" And I popped him into his head. And it looks could kill. Oh my goodness! Sorry about that. So worth it to see your reaction. But anyway, when I love him and I want to meet him more time and tag team with him. That's awesome. Who knows what the pro plan? He's got a bright future. Anybody's
watching more. He took that scare spot really good though for his first time.
I think he did. And like I say, he told me when we got back there, I said, how'd that feel? He said, oh man, that was a rush. He said, we got to do it again. Run it back.
He said that he's done some hardcore matches. I told him to send them over to me, but I ain't never seen them.
He did a match with the last match we had at SCW Entertainment. He was in a extreme title match against me and Sean Van in a 3-way. And he beat the whole fuck in that match. All of us did. I mean, you know, it was he did some hardcore matches with his brother Tony Lycan at SCW Entertainment. Them two beat the fuck out of each other at WrestleFest. That was a great match they had. Ace is a 100 wrestler in my opinion. He can hardcore, he can give you technical, he can make the fans pissed off. He can make you hate him, love him, or love to hate him, or hate him. Very well rounded. And like I say, that's the evolution I've watched with him over the years. Like, I mean, when he came to SCW Entertainment, he was scared and everything. Then when he got that first match on him, he got a little cocky. And Aaron McClure had to humble him. And next time you talk to him, if you ever do an interview with him, ask him how does it feel to be clotheslined by Aaron McClure.
All right.
That happened to Red Rebel, by the way. I don't know if he told you that in the interview, but when we did Daphne, Aaron McClure gave him a clothesline and knocked him. He did the rest of it.
Hell yeah, I love to see fucking you and Ace kick it off in a death match.
That'd be awesome.
So is there anyone you want to call out? Considering Redneck Rebel did call you out in a death match.
You know what? I one time I'm gonna let the fight come to me. If you want me, I'm not hard to find. I'm in IWA Deep South. Kevin Brennan is my promoter. Contact him. We can make some magic happen if you want to. I'm not gonna call any of you pussies out like Danny DeMonto because I'm not gonna waste my time with you. But anyone else? Whoop, whoop, I heard that in the background. Yes, thank you. Yes. But if you want me, I'm not hard to find. IWA Deep South. That's Juggalo Brian White. I'm not hard to find. So if you need me, inboxes off.
If you cannot tell, ladies and gentlemen, he fucking hates DD.
I hate Danny DeMonto, and what I hate about him is that he's egotistical. I don't hate his roster. He has an amazing roster full of talent, but he shits on people, and he shits on IWA Deep South and my brothers, and I went to defend them, and I've got screenshots of the conversation, but he thinks I was just trying to get free clout. I don't need his clout. My brothers, my brothers. IWA Deep South don't need to be defended. They're actually speak for themselves. I felt it in my heart to defend my promotion and my brothers, and that's what it. And anybody watches that looks at the screenshots, I said I have a problem with you, not your roster, and I'm Danny DeMonto can suck balls.
I mean, I know that it probably won't work, but just imagine Bryant Woods going against DD.
Bryant Woods would take any man. He has there's zero fear in that man's heart. And Danny DeMonto would just be another notch in his belt. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe he would destroy him, in my opinion.
That's what I'm getting at. DD, he's a good wrestler. I mean, like, he's got some good skills.
He would.
But Bryant would honestly murder and eat DD alive.
And I would sit back and laugh the entire time. I would actually contribute to Danny DeMonto's wallet and buy a ticket for that show if it was at ICW. I would buy one just to see that.
So, I have a question about Carnage Gut. Did Chewy Martinez give you a concussion at CC13 when he threw that when he took that half a pumpkin and crushed it?
No, but I was not silly for a second. When we were out on the outside of the ring, I remember he punched me. And I said, "Dude, I think my jaws are." He said, "Come on, get up." And I said, "I think my jaws broke." He said, "No, get up." And he put me on the ground, and everything else happened after that. No, he didn't. But Chewy Martinez is one tough son of a gun. He's my favorite beaner. I love that son of a bitch. I love you, Chewy. Watching this, I love you, brother. He taught me a lesson in that match, and I'm gonna leave that lesson between he and I. But he taught me a valuable lesson in that match, and I think that I will carry. I know I will carry that with me the rest of my career. But he taught me a valuable lesson. But I had fun with him. I hate that the match had to go home so quickly. But I literally couldn't see or breathe once that shit got in my eyes. I mean, my back and all that hot sauce and alcohol was in my cuts in my back, which that wasn't. Fact, I couldn't breathe because of the pepper, and I couldn't see shit. And if you watch back the replay, which is on streamxpw.com, if you look back at the match when he pins me, you can see he pulls his arm back because he thinks I'm gonna kick out. And when I don't, you can see the look on his face. He's in disbelief. He don't really know what happened at that either. And I think he finally put two and two together because as soon as he pinned me, I got the fuck up and went over and got water on my head as quick as I could. I mean,
Brian took the fuck off like after that, and I was thinking about a lot of bad death matches. I've seen him fight John Herrera. I'm really close with Brian, as I said before. We talk like every day, and as far as that goes, that fucked me up. Like Brian just sitting there, and I rewatched it. Not last night, but the night before, if I'm not mistaken. And you can hear him screaming bloody fucking murder.
That scream I have never belched out in my life. That was the most blood curdling scream I can honestly say in my entire. I mean, like when I lost my father, I something came from my soul that has never been heard before. But that was another one like that because as soon as that dude, I don't know, man. It just felt like I was on fire from head to toe, because I already had cuts in my head from round one when John skewered me.
Yeah.
And the razor wire and stuff in my head. and it was already laid open from that. And then the barbed wire trampoline that Sicko Prowl dropped me on, and the tube busted on me. I was
The
all good. So when he poured that on me, it got everything that had happened around when it all got good and cleaned out with alcohol.
you got an ass beating with that damn beer glove.
Chewy. I don't think Chewy might be saying this. Chewy was a little lip when he got in that match. When he seen that just was icing on the cake. It just tripped him out. If you put him on a mic, you might not can understand him, but I was out there and I understood him. He's just like, look at this shit. What the fuck is this? You know, he asked it and they put a beer in there with him and all that. And Chewy's great. I fucking love Chewy.
If y'all ever go back and watch the replay, like he said, streamxpw.com. I think it's on Title Match. A lot of his Deep South work is on Title Match. It's funny as shit. Chewy grabs his glove and he looks at it and goes, puts it on and puts his beer in it. And he goes, and then starts attacking Brian. And I'm like,
I remember it was an incredible. It was a Hulk one with nails hanging out. They had 16.
Yeah, it was nails. I thought it was skewers.
No, it was 16 penny nails.
Well, there you go. You got the shit beat out of him with nails. So another question is, how bad was your chest after the Spider Boudreaux gauntlet with Hardcore, considering he had a trash can crushed on you, plus swung like paper through the contraption from the ring?
I think my back took more of a beating in that one than anything. When he did that senton, I was a little tender for about a week after that. But you got to remember, Hardcore's not a little guy. You're gonna feel. There's no way to not feel it. You know what I'm saying? But the trash can did take most of the force, thank God. But I still knew he was there. And when he threw me through that fuckery on the outside, I was just thinking, this is my highlight moment. This is my Carnage Cup highlight moment. And when he threw me through there, that was my moment. But my side and my back got most of that. And then towards the end there, when I had him in the sleeper, when he flopped back, dude, he flopped back. And you got to remember, if you see earlier in the match, I'm throwing a bunch of bundles on him, breaking cubes all over him. Well, all that was in the middle of the ring at the time. All that fuckery, all that glass that was broken was all in the middle of the ring. So when he flopped back, not only did I get the crushing force of Hardcore Hillbilly, but I also had glass that went in my back, and the little metal part of the itself, the little, I don't know what you call it, but anyway.
Oh, the end piece of the light tube?
Yeah, it was stuck right back, and I didn't let go. I was not letting go. I don't know why. I didn't know I was going over, and when I just held on with everything I had, and because I thought he was gonna get back in, but when he was like, you know, when he did that and he didn't get up for a minute, I was like, what's happening here? And then the referee came up and picked his arm up and went down. I thought on the two when he was going to hulk up on two, like, you know, the cliche you always see in wrestling most of the time. And he didn't. When that hand went down the third time, like, dude, every emotion from 13 years of busting my ass, you know, and fighting and scratching and clawing to get my way to be here in the moment, you know. Carnage Cup weekend is my lifelong goal to ever be in this. And to win that was icing on the cake, but it was just so much emotion went through me at that moment. And all I could think about was my dad, my wife, and just how far I've came, you know, just to be in that one moment, because so many people hated on me. So many people blackballed me from promotions or getting out there. So many people just said cruel and mean things about me. You know, I'm a meth head, blah, 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 all this bullshit. No, you know, talk about my teeth. Here's my teeth, the bitches. Say something. Give a shit. Okay? I love me. My wife loves me. My fans love me. I don't give a shit. You know?
I love him. I support him.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a very big moment for me. And just the tears you see me crying, and them were real tears. Just like when I pinned John, that was the realest tears that come through, because I just realized I just retired my hero. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
understand that.
stuck up in one match.
John was a beast in the ring, and I loved him. As I said before, I loved him and Spider. Did you ever meet Spider?
I never got the honor of meeting him, but I've heard so many stories from Blaine Evans, Bryant,
Right.
every locker room have talked about him, and I feel like I already know him.
I never got a chance to meet him, but I would love to meet Spider.
But John and them tell me, he said Spider would have loved me, and I feel in my heart he would have, because Spider loved the boys that had the heart and the passion for this business and didn't give up and just kept going with the punches, and that's pretty much how John described it to me, and I feel like me and Spider would have hit it off. I think we would have.
I mean, that's what you have to have in this business is, the love for it and the heart. And us fans can tell, y'all professionals can tell who's going to stick around and who's going to, I'm just here for now. And we get more attached to the ones that stick around because they're actually wanting to do something and not get that 5-10 minutes of fame, and then 10 years later, well, he's back, and then nobody really gives a fuck, which we've seen it before. But if you retire and then or John, and come back 5-10 years from now, we're going to lose our goddamn heads.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you said, you have to have a passion for the business, because you don't realize long drives that you drive from state to state, city to city. You don't know how much lost sleep, how much personal life, like your family, it affects your relationship, it affects everything. But if you love it, it's worth it. The wrestling, this ride to wrestling is so worth it. This crazy world, I love my professional wrestling. I love my brotherhood. I love wrestling, and it saved my fucking life.
I know a story behind that and why you said that, but not my story to tell. So
right.
Do you see yourself winning a Carnage Cup?
Realistically,
like you was about to say, you've won the Spider Gauntlet, and I think that it would do you good. Just me. Other people might agree, but I think it would be really good for you to win you a cup too, so you'd have both under your belt.
Yeah, that would be good. To answer your question, I don't think I will ever win a Carnage Cup, but that doesn't mean I won't try. That doesn't mean I won't fight with everything I've got. But realistically, no, because if anybody that's watched Carnage Cup main events over the years, and we always, you and I seem to always go back to Carnage Cup 13, because I feel like that was one of the best ones we've ever had. But if you put them men put themselves through in that main event, the finals of Carnage Cup is exactly what Carnage Cup is. Carnage. It's mayhem. It's bloodshed. It's pushing your body past what it should be pushed.
It's pushing it to limits that you've never
for the
been.
sake of our fans and for the love of the sport of deathmatch wrestling. So that's how I would answer that. No, I don't think I will, but that don't mean I won't try.
Honestly, I've seen all 13 Carnages, and I've seen all the Deep South stuff on Title Match. I've seen 13 on I've seen 13 on Stream XPW. And your first round of Carnage, your body. Wait! If you would look at your phone, I said it was CJ. Your first round, your body goes through hell. Your second round is a little bit, worse, and then the third round, you mold your body. You fucking get demolished. I mean, Little Sicko and Bright Woods, 13, for example. I mean, you have.
Yeah, but Sicko had to go 3 rounds.
Yeah.
That's what people got to realize. Sicko went through 3 rounds before he went to that, or 2 rounds before he went to that main event. That man, he went through hell. He went through a lot of hell, and he did it because he fucking loves this. He lives for this shit, and he's genuinely a good person, but he's one of the best competitors, and I stand by this future of death wrestling.
And you said on another interview that, Little Sicko slept on the ground that night after getting the shit beat out of him by Bryant Woods and going through that fucking U-Haul in that glass spot. You said that Sicko slept on the ground. You said, I don't see how you fucking done it.
I mean, the next morning he was already out of the tent. He was in the ring and everything, getting warmed up. I was like, "How are you moving? How are you?"
Whoa, shit.
And he just picked up a beer and said, "Yes."
Jesus.
I mean, dude, I think he should be called Unstoppable, Little Sicko, because I mean, you can't stop him. He's bound and determined to die in that ring. I feel like sometimes when I watch him, I'm like, you're gonna die doing this. And while I was honorable death,
I guess I'm packing phones to the living room.
Don't rush it. You are so many years ahead of you. Don't rush. Trying to kill yourself, man. Because he went through immortal hell. I just can't imagine the pain he felt for weeks after that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's the second time he's done a high spot. I've shared the video when Jamie Richards and him came off the top of that building. I don't know if you've seen that. I mean, dude, he has no fear, and that's that's the scary motherfucker to be in the ring with. That's like Bryant Woods. He has no fear. You better people better watch that and realize that these men have no fucks to give.
Could we get you and Ace in a death match?
I hope. I would like.
I'd love to see that.
I would like to think that when the time comes when he's ready for that, he'll let me reach out to me and we'll go through the proper channels to make it happen. But I would love to give him that because I know he trusts me and I trust him, obviously, but we trust each other. And deathmatch wrestling, you have to have trust for your dance partner. Or in wrestling, period. Excuse me. Let me just say that in wrestling in general, in professional, if you don't trust your dance partner, then it can make for a real botched up match or a real shitty match. You know what I'm saying? You have to trust one another. You have to protect one another. You know what I'm saying? That's your dance partner.
I'd like to see you and Ace kick it off. Like I said, I feel like you two could both get over in that match.
We got good chemistry. We had, and it seemed like when I got in there like I say, I sound a cliche, but from the man that I met all them years ago and the man I was in the ring with, that's two completely different men. Because that was a cocky, arrogant little young man back in the day, and now he's a more mature man. He respects our business. He respects workers. He respects the art that we perform, and he's just turned into an all around genuinely good professional wrestler, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. How many times have you been scared?
Three or four times.
Because I know once was at Carnage, and I know John done it to you in that Violent Shit Cup.
And Scatamania.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, didn't he do it at Scat? And then
do you count Gus? No, Gus wouldn't count as skewers. Skewers. I think it's the three now that I'm thinking about it. It's really just three.
Yeah, I think John got you all three times.
Yes.
So
it is, John. What? I didn't. You know what? I'm gonna put that fact out tonight. I did not realize
that. John brings something to the table that you ain't ever going to see ever again from anybody else.
Uniqueness. That is the best. He is the most unique wrestler in the world. Everybody says, and what I like is unpredictability. I love that about it because he's spontaneous and he'll do shit on the fly and he's just like, I don't know why he did that, but that was cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Casey stabbing himself at Carnage Cup. All right, let me tell you what's going through my mind at this time, okay? He's already kicked the shit out of me and Sicko at this point. If you watch, he does a barrage of just kicking the fuck out of us, I mean, literally just kicked our fucking ass. Well, as laying on the ground, I'm looking up at him, and he says, "Stay down." Okay. And as he's walking around, he's doing this number. And I said, "What are you doing?" He didn't say nothing. He picked up this razor board,
Box
not
cutter.
box cutter, with foam. It was like they put
Yeah.
the foam and shit. Slam you on it. Anyways, he picked up one. I said, "What are you doing?" I thought he was about to make me spot the next spider or something. And I asked him 2 times. Then by the 3rd time, I said, "What are you?" And he went, "Tick, tick, tick."
What the fuck?
And I was on the ground like this. And I said to Sicko, I said, "He just fucking stabbed himself." And Sicko said, "Sick." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude." So then he's calling for tape and shit. So me and Sicko are working each other so he can get fixed up. He gets fixed up, and about the time Sicko pile drives me on the trampoline, we sell that for a minute. He's already setting up the fucking fireworks because, he started losing feeling in his arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hit an artery almost. And he hurt his shoulder, too, somehow. I think it was whenever he got thrown through the razor board. It was sitting on the edge of the ring. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think that's when he hurt his shoulder, and then, like I say, he stabbed himself. So we had to take that one home a little bit early. I hate that I couldn't give John a better farewell, and John has not watched that match still to this day yet. He's just not brought himself to do it. But he seems to be disappointed with himself, what he can remember of the match. He's disappointed with himself. Let me tell you something, sir. If you feel that disappointed, we can run it back again. I would be honored to run it back one more time for you. I would be honored. But I feel like it was still a good match. It was quicker than most than what we expected to be. But like I say, I still believe that he and I in our careers, we told a beautiful, violent story. It was a great one. And I wouldn't be where I am now in the deathmatch wrestling world or in IWA Deep South if it wasn't for John. So I thank him every day. I love him. We are very close friends outside the business now. Like, we are definitely, literally like family. We're brothers in blood anyways, but he's a good man. He's done a lot for this sport, and people could shit on him all day long, but I don't give a shit. He don't either, because he's a good man, and he's been good to me. I can't say nothing.
John, one thing that you're going to absolutely get from John, he's not going to let you down in a match, and you better expect fucking firecrackers or fire, because that's John's fucking thing.
Fuck fire, and fuck John with fire. God damn it! All right, you know what? You want to say this shit, John? And I'm going to tell this fucking story, and I don't care if you're watching. I still love you, but damn it, fuck you for this. We're in the Ring Fire Death Match at Violent Shit Cup. So I'm already nervous about fire as it is. And when they lit the fucking fire on the side of the ring, you could feel the heat. We was working towards the center of the ring because it was so hot. At some point, I was laying on the mat, selling for a minute, and I see John walk with a stick and goes to the fire and puts it on the edge of the stick. And I'm just, and it's like it's so much in my head, and I can't get the words out, and I'm just watching him walk across, and he's coming towards me with this thing, and all of a sudden, he smacks me in my fucking dick with it. He burns the scrotum. I said, this motherfucker is chestnuts roasting on an open fire to me. Then on top of that, during the match, he sets himself on, or somehow he gets caught on fire, and he's laughing as he's on fire. He's about it. As I'm the opponent, and putting him out from being on fire, and he's laughing the entire time. But thank you for the fucking balls, buddy. Appreciate that.
Definitely go check that out. That is on Title Match Network. Please go check that out. Fucking when he done that.
That's the unpredictability I was talking about. And he also, when he put the fish hooks in my mouth, I didn't know he's gonna put fish hooks in my fucking mouth, but he sure as fuck did.
Like, I didn't really know who Brian was at the time, but I knew John, and I've seen the video, and it was in, kind of like a private property thing. And when I seen it, I was outside, and it was back in the summertime. And if y'all know me, I stream sometimes on Kick. And I was like, oh shit, this guy just had his fucking balls burned. Oh my fucking God. And John's over here. John, like we said, John he's very professional, and he's like Murdoch. He can get anybody in that ring over, and so could Brian could do it. I mean, if you're professional and you love what you do, you can get a wrestler over, another guy over. A lot of the bigger guys. The one thing I think Deep South's good for is they'll take some smaller guys and then put them in the ring with a bigger guy, and then the bigger guy will get the smaller guys over.
That's all owed to Kevin and Tyler. They give us so many opportunities to work with some of the best. I mean, Sergeant Jimmy Romer, or controversy, or whatever. People hate him, love him, whatever. That's your opinion. I'm not for or against him, but nobody knew who he was, and he worked Bryant Woods and Necro Butcher at Carnage Cup. He gave Jay Blade an opportunity to work with Sick Boy and Chewy. That was great. Jay Blade is, by the way, anybody's watching this as well. Jay Blade, another Deep South guy. Very underrated worker. Very, very underrated. One of the best cruiserweights I've been with, period. So if you get a chance, check him out. Jay Blade, IWA Deep South. But Kevin and them give us so many opportunities. How could we not go out there and give 1,000%? Not only for the fans, but for him. He's given us a platform. He's given it. None of us have been on a pay-per-view until he gave us that opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
That's huge for us. That's huge. That is huge. He gives so many opportunities to people that deserve it. You have to earn that with him, though. Don't think that he just puts any jackass on the show that he wants to. No, he don't do that. Kevin does his research, and he thinks about what's best for the IWA Deep South and what's best for the fans. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I owe that to Kevin. I owe it to Kevin because he let me work John. I mean, that was my first IWA Deep South match was against John in a street fight in Sylacauga, and a building with 200 plus people, and there was no air conditioning. Holy fuck, it was hot. But anyway, we'll touch that later, I'm sure.
Is that the match that Chewy was on commentary in that match, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yes, I love that match.
When I pinned John, she was just ring the bell. The fuck just happened? He says, I think that he beat John. He said, I think he beat him. I was like, yeah. She was the best.
So is everywhere you go a heel, or is it just certain places?
It's whatever. Well, if I'm in a storyline, depends on if I'm in a storyline, or it's really what the booker wants me to do. It's what you're paying. If you want me to go out there and be the biggest baby face in the world, I can do that. I was a baby when I started in this business. But I'm a better heel because heels have more fun. We break rules. We piss you off. We're gonna talk shit. You know what I mean? And I ain't gotta touch your dirty little hands when I come through there and all that. These are something. I'm being facetious. Don't think that about any of y'all. Please don't think that anybody's watching this. I don't think that about you guys.
I was watching one of these older matches from Deep South, I think it was, and I'm asking him, and I'm like, I love how you just come out to the ring and chill on the ropes. He goes, laugh my ass off, classic heel move. And I'm like, well, yeah.
Was waiting on John. That was our first match, me and John. Yeah.
Waiting on John. That was, yeah. He just sits there and chills.
Poured a bottle of water on my football jersey. I came out in the Gamecocks one. Go Gamecocks. I poured a bottle of water on my head because, dude, it was blazing in that. Anybody was at that show will tell you it was fucking hot. I mean, I could not cool my body off for shit. So that's why me and John in the back, we both agreed we're going to take our time. We're going to take our time and have a little fun with it. And that's what we did. You know, we kept it simple, stupid. You know what I'm saying?
It was good. It was good as fuck, honestly. I liked it. I liked any of his matches, and I liked John's matches. And I wish that we could have had more Brian and John, but, 3, maybe, he just retired, but maybe a few years down the road he comes back and Brian's retired or came back, we can get, something out of that.
I feel like we should have an IWA Deep South reunion show one day.
Definitely.
That would be, I'm not a huge fan of the man, but I'm a fan of his work. It would be nice to see Freak Show again. It would be nice. Now, I'm not going into why I'm not a particular fan of him. I'm a fan of his work, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But it would be nice to see him again in Deep South.
Well, y'all would have to bring in Ian, wouldn't you?
Nah. If Ian ever steps foot in that Deep South ring, it probably won't be pretty for him.
Fuck it, throw his ass in there anyways.
I don't care if this shoots me in the foot or whatever. Ian is a piece of shit. You shitted on fans. You shitted on the ones that make you who you are. You don't do that. You don't shit on the fucking fans because the fans don't forget.
Think about that. Fucking Ian Rotten started paying people back, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he started paying people back. And now April of this year, 2024, he's supposed to be making a comeback and bringing Mid-South back.
Good luck.
For my fans that watch me, y'all know that Skinny Moose is a Axl Rotten fan. I do not hit too well with Ian. There's just something that I can't click with that man.
I call it carny promoting when you do shit like that, when you shit on the fans. And and any worker that goes to him, hey, I don't blame you. Business is business and money is money. If you get your money. But I personally don't give a shit if I ever get booked for him. And even if I did, I'd refuse it. I don't want nothing to do with him. I respect that. Get what he did. Now, while I respect the fact he's trying to make it right, you still haven't made it completely right. So he has got a long road of redemption to go. He's going to redeem himself, I feel like. I mean, and at this point, it's a little too late to say I'm sorry.
Yeah. After everything that he's done, I agree with that. So, how hard did you really smack Lawless Jimmy? You could hear that shit throughout the arena.
Lawless James Barrett. Let me tell you something. He was so nervous because it's his first time. I'm not calling myself a name, but I feel like Blaine and Jay were in the Alabama area especially. But he was working Blaine, myself, and Jay Blade, and he was just so, like, I don't know, overwhelmed. He was a little nervous and everything, but when we went over the match with him and everything, and he did everything that we told him, everything. He did it all. He did absolutely flawless, in my opinion. When we slapped each other, we all beat the holy fuck out of each other that night. We all did. We all just went out there and beat the fuck out. And it made for one of the funnest matches you've ever watched. I mean, James didn't pull back, and I told him, I said, don't pull back. Don't. Just let's have some fun. Now, I'm not saying we went out there and annihilated, but we made contact. You know, in that match, we made contact.
Yeah.
Snug. There we go. We were snug workers. But it was a fun match. The young man's got a bright future. He's also UK customer sponsored like myself and you. He got merch. Buy the merch. Anyways, bright future ahead of him. I'm watching him closely still. I want to see more of Lawless James Barrett on the indie circuit.
I mean, I can see where the boys or the man's coming from on being nervous. He had 3 of y'all fucking Deep South boys on his ass.
But we had no problem with him, and it just made for a good. He was very humble. That was what was really one of his good assets. He was humble, but he wasn't foolish. We didn't take advantage of him. We gave him his shine. He let us get our heat in. He went out there. The fans loved it. They absolutely loved it. It was a great night. As far as from the back and the locker room bullshit, I look past that. But I had a good time wrestling with Jay and Blaine and also James. I mean, James did a great job. Like I say, he's got a bright future in this business.
Y'all can check that out on John Rare's Facebook or John Rare's YouTube shit. It's on Rare's Facebook, so go check him out. And why did you wrestle under a mask at one time?
All right. So when I left SCW Entertainment because of my shoulder, I was just pretty much no good there, and I was working up at Chief J Eagles at American Pro Wrestling as a referee when I was recovering, which I still really fully didn't, but I did. AJ Frost wanted me to be like one of his little roadies that comes to the ring with him or whatever. Well, we didn't want to blow kayfabe with me being a referee. I was senior referee at the time. So what I had to do was put a hood on, which is a mask, same thing. I put the mask on, and I was the executioner at that time. So we did that for a little bit. And then I kept asking for a match. The reason Chief wouldn't give me a match at that time was not because of my shoulder, it's because I literally had a heart attack in the ring and died at the American Coliseum during a match with Chief J Eagle. And they brought me back. Thank God. Obviously, look at here, you're talking to me, but I had a heart attack there, and he was very cautious. He didn't want that to happen again, and liability reasons, and I got that. So it took a little while to convince him, but he finally let me have a match with him. But when he did, he says, I think y'all take the Tokyo flag out with you and be the Tokyo executioner. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Chief's a legend. I'll do anything in this world for Chief, and I did. And I took the flag out there when I was. Looking back now, I didn't realize how stupid I really was for that, because how can you be Tokyo execution when you got an SC for South Carolina State on your chest? You got other tattoos that are just definitely not Japanese on me, and then also my tattoo gives me away, and I wrestle shirtless most of the time. Why did I do that? I don't know, but it was fun while it lasted. I also used to be Scarecrow, and I painted my face, and I put this little cloak around it. I was in a faction called. I've done in the backyard. I was
Little White.
No, Lil White stayed with me, but yes, I was Lil White there. I was hardcore there too. Let's see, I was Lil White, Young One, Tattoo. I was a little bit of everything there. It was fun. BCW TNG days. The most embarrassing gimmick I think I've ever. Oh, what was the most embarrassing one I've done? I really, I think it was when I was under a hood. I think at a 3CW show. I'm going back to this. I'm trying to think here. No, it wasn't 3CW because that was a Christian promotion. I really, I can't recall the most embarrassing gimmick, but that would have to be in the top one right there. Yeah.
So, have you ever had a tooth knocked out in a match?
All right. I kind of figured. I was waiting for somebody. You're the first interviewer to ask me that, so here we go. Back in the backyard days and BCW TNG days, there was a guy named Cat Daddy. He still wrestles to this day. He wrestles down here in the Carolinas, but his name was Cat Daddy. This is how this happened. We were not in a match. We were going over our match in the ring. As we're both stepping into the ring through the ropes, his head hits me. Knocks his tooth out. Okay. Going down the road here, we're in a hardcore match. I don't know if it was necessarily him. I forget. No, Mike Jones. And my head gets split open because Mike had never swung a chair, and my head got sandwiched in between the ring post and the chair. So that's why I got a big scar right here that you can't see right now, but big scar there. I was in another match, and the blood got down to my eye, and when it did, the dude went to swing the chair, and I didn't get my head up in time, and it knocked my front ones out. Now, taking my folks, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I am a clean addict. When I say clean addict, I've been clean for 14 years. No, 16 years. Excuse me, 16 years. I've been clean 16 years. I did abuse crack. I abused meth. That's another reason why my teeth are like they are. But I'm proud to say that I'm clean and sober, and I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. I'll get my teeth fixed eventually, but you know what? If that's the best that people can make fun of me about, oh fuck them, I don't care. But that's what happened to my teeth. John chipped one, punched, in our first match. And that happened. It's not because John intended to do that. I leaned in too far, and when I did, he made contact, and he couldn't help that. So that's how that happened. That's about the only time I can say a tooth got chipped by John, but the other ones were just insane.
John was more about where John's not really worried about teeth. He's more worried about burning your balls.
Or busting one or whatever, you know.
But no, for real though, ladies and gentlemen, John Rare, he's if you don't like John Rare, it's not John Rare you don't like. It's your fucking self that you don't like.
He brings something so much more than people give him credit for to the table. When he does a match, like he thinks this through, and he's just like the rest of us. He's his own worst critic, but he criticizes himself on points that he shouldn't. Like you just shouldn't do it, John. And if you call him a legend, he hates it. He's like, I'm no legend. No, you are somebody. You are a pioneer in the Southern Deathmatch scene. You inspired me. You inspired many others. So don't ever think you're not a legend, because you are. And we thank you for everything you've given to this business, body, your mind. You've given everything to it, and we thank you. So don't ever say you're not. You fucking are, John.
When the one thing that got me over with John was definitely him and Spider Boudreaux when he stabbed fucking Spider in the arm. And I'm like,
I told him to do it.
I'm like,
you know what he told him? He said, just don't hit my tattoo.
Yeah, he's like, just don't hit my tattoo. And at that time, I didn't know. I thought this was actually real shit. Like, you know, I thought he was just done it out of the blue, you know. I didn't know that Spider told him. I was like, this motherfucker's wicked. I definitely got to check some more shit of him out. And then as I got to know him more and watching him more, I'm like, firecrackers, but, you know, just about anything that involves fire or pain, John is your guy.
Yeah, anything that we don't want to do, he wants to do.
Thank you.
He got his fingers cut off by Blaine Evans, for God's sakes.
That match alone, oh my. I do not know what or how or if that was even talked about, but.
No, Blaine's Blaine cut his fucking fingers off like an asshole. He was lucky he was allowed to be at Carnage. I love Blaine as my tag team partner. But I mean, he's lucky that he was allowed to be at Carnage Cup after at Carnage Cup 12 he cut his fucking fingers off. I mean, he gets so much hate mail to this day about that. He still gets hate mail. He cut his fingers off. People are like, how could you cut your fingers off and blah blah blah? And this is not wrestling. This is human mutilation and shit like that. He to this day, Blaine still gets hate mail about that. Still to this day.
I mean, I like Blaine. One of the things that you got to watch out for Blaine, though, he comes out of fucking nowhere. And I have nothing against Blaine, but I still ain't figured out how the fuck he got back in Carnage Cup. I'll figure it out. But
we're all blown away as you are. Just like at Violent Shit Cup, Blaine was in the second match, the little Rumble for the Underground Championship or whatever. He didn't even know he was going to be in it. They were playing his music. He was sitting there like, oh, why are they playing my music? I said, yes, I'm in it. He went and fought in that match and then did another match.
No offense, Blaine, but you're one of those guys that just show up where the fuck ever you want to and do whatever the fuck you want to.
That's Blaine in a nutshell. He's an asshole, but he's my asshole. He's Deep South's asshole.
He seems like a good character, though.
He's just that. He's a character, all right.
If you want to know about Blaine Hershman, man, he can tell you. I've seen this man come out of nowheres, like Violent Shit Cup when I think it was Bryant Woods and
Jamie Richards.
Yeah, Jamie Richards. And then he hits Bryant with them light tubes. Carnage Cup 13. I mean, he's just wherever.
Everywhere.
So how was it being on TV?
You talking about every or like the local TV? Which one are you talking about? Like when I was on pay-per-view this past time, or like before that?
When you was in your SCW days.
Okay, so the first time I was really nervous. I was just nervous as I could be. I kind of stuttered a little bit and everything in it. And I mean, it still went smooth, but I was just really freaking nervous and just blown away that it was happening. Like, we started in the back, and we went and got legit with the athletic committee and became a real promotion, which I didn't know we were still a real promotion. We didn't think we'd get that opportunity. That time, I have to say, I'm going to be honest with everybody here, I was stoned out of my gourd. I had to be because I was just nervous. You know what I'm saying? That was the third interview I did. I can't believe I'm telling the story. So when I did the second interview, oh God, I was standing there with Norton Lewis, and we were doing a show we were promoting a show for NCW, and I got a screenshot of it because my wife, she screenshot at the right time because I'm looking at Norton like this, like really. We're sitting there talking to him, and they were showing a promo guide cut for the show, and during it, David Rip's ass, and I heard him. Nobody else on the stage fucking heard him. The mics didn't pick it up enough, but he rips ass, and I look over, and I'm just like, really, motherfucker, really? That was just a great moment. Sorry, that's random. I'm sorry, but
you're fine.
When I did the first one, I was nervous as shit, but honored. And then the second, third time, it was just starting to come like second nature. And then I started getting better with doing promos and the interviews with people. As you can see, now I won't shut the hell up.
How was it being on your first pay-per-view, like live Carnage Cup pay-per-view?
There's workers I messaged, and I'm, again, people say you shouldn't say things like this. It makes you look bad or what. I'm not ashamed to seek knowledge from the vets. I messaged a couple of them. I was just like, any advice for my first pay-per-view? And they're just like, work the hard cam. Just timing is everything, and just different little advices they gave me, and I used that. But to say when I seen that camera in my face when I was walking down that hill in round one, in my head, it may not mean anything to anyone else, but me, them cameras, I knew what was behind them. There was millions of viewers around the world watching me, and it's just like, I fucking did it. I'm fucking here. I'm legit. Now I'm solidified myself.
You can see in his face at Carnage Cup 13, he's like about to cry tears of joy.
I was starstruck. I cried actually when I pinned John at Carnage Cup, and I cried when I won the Spider Boudreaux. Like that was legit tears. I mean, that's real tears. I mean, but it's tears of joy and just, well, not just joy. Like I told you, joy, pain, anguish, a little bit of everything. But it was great. I was starstruck. I was marking out for Carnage Cup, and I was in it.
So will you talk on your shoulder replacement?
Okay, so I was in a match with Tanner Stone in SCW, Emerald City Showdown, I think it was, in Waterloo, South Carolina. My son was there that day watching that match, and this guy was a complete little piece of shit, still is a piece of shit, and I owe you a receipt whether I see you in the ring or not when I see you, Tanner. During the match, he's just getting cheap shots in on me. He like unnecessarily stiffing me. We're outside the ring, and he takes the wind out of me, and he walks over to my son, and he's holding me, and I'm trying to get my breath together. And he says, "This your dad? This your dad?" And he fucking, I mean, it was real hard. Knocks the shit out of me, knocks the wind out of me again. And then he sets me up in the corner for you. Have you ever seen Kevin Owens do his steamroll, cannonball, whatever it is he does?
Yeah, it's cannonball.
Well, he set me up in the corner for the cannonball. I'm waiting on him. I'm ready for it. And I'm in position where nothing will get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to do the move. I'm in position. This son of a bitch touched a little bit early, and he brings his whole fat ass body into me. And when he did, I was braced. But when I did, he came and hit this. And well, I heard the pop, but I didn't think nothing about it. Then I went up and something else happened. We did a few more moves or whatever. Then I went on the top, and I jumped off to do a frog splash, and he moved, and I missed. And then when he did, I hit the mat, and it ripped the muscle completely off the bone off my shoulder and
Oh
separated.
shit!
And I still finished the match, and I won the match, by the way. I still won the match with a separated shoulder, but that was pretty much the beginning of the end for me at SCW for a while. I was out. I was pissed. I was mad. I was missing the sport, missing the business. It was a dark time, but I made it through it. Got the shoulder fixed finally in 2015, 16. I got it fixed, one of them. And it's good to go now. It's just my leg now. I got hit by a semi truck at my shoot job back in 2018, 19, and my whole left leg pretty much is nothing but hardware because a semi truck driver just decided that, you know, lying on his login books or whatever to hit, and he falls asleep and smashes into where I'm at, and damn near kills everybody. But anyways, he fucked my life up. So if you ever watch me in matches, I have a little limp, or I can't run as fast as others or whatever. But I watch this left leg really closely. I try to watch it in my matches because even though I got that hard, I don't want to get that pain again. Because when I got hit by that truck, when I tried to stand up, my leg literally wrapped around like a clock. That's how. Yeah, he messed me up bad. But I try to watch that. So that's probably that, and my heart attack, probably my two worst injuries ever.
So first of all, fuck the guy that done that in front of your son.
Yeah, piece of shit.
And second, what the fuck? Like, I've noticed that you and Carnage Cup, like you said, we keep going back to 13, but I noticed that little Sicko and John Rayer's over there fighting, and you just like, I'll get there when I get there, fuck it. And that's one thing I like about you. Like, you take, even if you didn't have your knee replaced, which I've seen a lot of your older matches, you've always kind of been slow in the ring, and you do your own little, technique.
Methodical.
And you play your mind games with them, and that's one thing that you got to have when you're a heel. Is you got to be able to outsmart your opponent, and that's one thing that he's always done.
Psychology. That's one of the things we learn in our training. You have to psychology. You have to. I've got to. My job is to make you and the people in that crowd think this is real. That's my job, and you have to play the role. I mean, I'm a heel, so I'm gonna methodically do cowardly shit like powder out when you get ready to hit me. I'm gonna jump out of the ring or something like that, or I'm gonna, when you gotta lock up with me, I duck, and I'm just, ha ha, I'm the smarter heel here, ha ha, or little
Whatever
things like
piss us off.
Whatever. Right. Get cheap heat. If I'm in Kentucky, if I wrestled in Kentucky, I'd go there and I'd say, this is a great place other than your shitty basketball team, the Wildcats or something. And that's a golden rule in Kentucky. You don't make fun of the Wildcats. Don't fucking make fun of the Wildcats, especially the basketball team. Well, guess what? I would do that. I would come out in a South Carolina Gamecock jersey like I did in Alabama just to piss you off to get cheap heat. Why not?
You better not wear no fucking Louisville around here.
I will wear my if I ever wrestle in Kentucky, you have my word. I'm going to wear my Gamecock jersey.
Oh, fucking God. You going to piss off everybody down here.
Boo if you love it, bitches.
Exactly. That's his thing. Just boo if you love it. And I always tell him, I'm like, boo. He goes, I know you love it.
Hell yeah.
So did AEW steal the double or nothing saying from SCW?
I don't think so. I think that's just something that a title has been used many times way before wrestling in general. I think. No, but that was a cool show. Had a lot of fun on it. SCW. We had Brandon Lawton. He was our creative. One of the best creative guys I've ever worked with. When I met him, we met in the backyard, and it evolved to this. And when it did, I would go visit with him, and we'd talk about storylines and what we got coming up for us. And this man had a folder of storylines for at least 2 years worth of storylines for the company already prepared. He even had fallback plans in case things didn't go right. Like he loved, yeah. Brandon is an amazing creator. He has a mind for this business. Though since SCW closed its doors, he's pretty much took a step back from wrestling. But he does he reviews horror films and stuff like that on his YouTube. Get a chance, it's on YouTube. Brand the Law, that's his channel. Check him out. He is awesome. Great guy. He actually gave me my catchphrase, "Boo if you love it." It was his. He was Sean Van in wrestling. That was what he's known as, Sean Van. He gave me my catchphrase, "Boo if you love it." He used to say it all the time, and I told him, I said, "Man, I just love that." He's like, "Well, use it." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Use it if you want to." And it just took off from there. It just took off. I mean, because it confuses the fans. They're like, if I'm a heel, they're like, "Boo, oh, yay, boo." You can't boo or yay me, because if you're booing me, you're cheering me. And if you cheer me, you're cheering me.
Yeah, it's just fuck. You said it was Brandon Law on YouTube?
Brand the Law, BRAN the Law.
Oh, the Law.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You'll love his shit. If you love horror movies, he does a lot of reviews on them. He does some real shit. Just you have to listen to him.
You're gonna have to send me his link, and then I'll have to show him in the next video. Because all I'm saying is like,
yeah, I'll have to show you.
And then my last question was, when you was in SCW and you faced the Professional Murdoch, why did you go by the Millionaire Wrestler back in the day?
The White Trash Millionaire, because I was telling Brandon one night, like, man, I just want to revamp my character, and I think we were actually having a party or something, and it just at the time it seemed fitting. Okay, I was living in a trailer. I didn't have a job. I had to have food stamps and stuff like that. Well, I tried to play off of that, make it realistic. I was like, I'll be the white millionaire. And I'll come out with an EBT card talking about I got all this, and stuff like that. And I came out to the song "White Trash Millionaire" by Buck Cherry. Not Buck Cherry, Blackstone Cherry. Was it Blackstone Cherry? I think so. Anyway, no. I don't know. I'll send you the link. But I came out to White Trash Millionaire and stuff. That gimmick stuck for a while, actually. It stuck for a couple of years. It was just, it seemed fitting for me at that time, because that was the early days of my career, and I was really in a lot of rough patches in my life at that time, and it fit with it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk on?
I just want to say thank you as usual, but guys, support IWA Deep South this year. We got some big plans for you guys. Southern Outlaws is coming up soon. We're gonna have a date to be announced soon. We are working on getting the library on Stream XPW. It's just taking a little bit to get everything changed over. Give us time with that. We will have it on there, but Carnage Cup and Kings of Carnage is on there right now. I want to thank all the fans for God. I've got more fans now than I've ever had in my life, and I love each and every one of you guys. And if I don't get back to you, I will get back to you as quick as I can if you message me. But thank y'all for the support. To my boy Rebel, we are the Carolina Outlaws as well. We will be debuting our tag team this year. To my boy Rebel, look at us now, motherfucker. Look at us now, brother. We are doing it. And to my wife, Sherry, I love you. Thank you for supporting me and getting me here. To my kids, I love you. I sound like I'm giving a daggum award ceremony speech, but my last thing to say would be boo if you love it.
All right, boo. Thank y'all for watching, though. This is your boy Skinny Moose with the Tattooed Wrestler. We're definitely going to set up plenty of more interviews with him. I was talking to him about setting one up with Rebel, and after they debut and stuff. But this would be his third time on the channel, so we definitely got to shoot for round 4.
Damn right. Let's do it. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.